Can a company really force you to respond to work calls after office hours? I have worked in IT for many years, and something unusual about me always surprised people. I avoided owning a cell phone for most of my career. I didn't actually get one until around 2013. The reason was simple. I knew that once I had a phone, my employer would expect me to be reachable all the time without paying anything extra. In the IT industry, there has always been an unwritten rule. No matter where you are or what you're doing, you answer the phone. On a nice date, your boss calls. Having dinner with your spouse, your boss calls. Taking your kids to an important doctor's appointment, your boss calls. And if you don't answer fast enough, the next day you get a long lecture at work. It doesn't matter that many problems could wait until the next morning or be solved remotely. The expectation is simple. Always respond. That culture has existed in IT for years, and honestly, I doubt it will change anytime soon. 0 hours, 0 minutes, 36 seconds. Back in 2005, early in my career, I worked for a small company with about 50 employees. My job included help desk support and network administration. My manager had the title of IT manager, but in reality, he didn't understand much about technology. He struggled with basic things like IP addresses, didn't know why different versions of Microsoft Office looked slightly different, and had no idea how software licensing systems worked. But he was good at using crystal reports, and somehow that was enough for him to get the manager title. So most of the real technical work fell on me, while he spent most of his time watching me closely to make sure I never appeared idle for even a few minutes. 0 hours, 0 minutes, 54 seconds. One evening, around 7:45 p.m., an employee from another department stayed late and ran into a small problem with Microsoft Excel. It was something minor, definitely the kind of thing that could wait until the next morning. But the IT manager couldn't figure it out. And since I didn't own a cell phone, there was no way for them to contact me after work. The employee became very upset. The next morning, he stormed into the IT office, loudly complaining about how unacceptable it was that his Excel pivot table issue hadn't been fixed immediately. Then he sent a 5-page email to half the company, even copying the executive team, describing how terrible the IT support had been that night. 00:01:14. A few days later, I was called into a meeting with my manager and someone from HR. From the serious expressions on their faces, I honestly thought I might be about to lose my job, but that wasn't the case. The meeting had only one purpose. They wanted me to get a cell phone. I politely refused. They were prepared for that answer and said the company would simply pay for the phone. So I asked an important question. If I'm expected to answer work calls after hours, will my salary increase? My employment contract never mentioned being on call. They replied that there was no money in the budget for a raise, but I knew that wasn't true because the CEO regularly shared the company's financial reports with everyone, and the company was doing quite well. 00:01:50. So I made them a deal. I told them I would accept a company-provided cell phone and answer calls after work hours without asking for extra pay. But I had one condition. I would be the one choosing the phone and the service provider. They quickly agreed and even put it in writing. They seemed confident, almost like they had won the negotiation. That's when I began searching for the most expensive and inconvenient option I could reasonably justify. Eventually, I found a Motorola Razr offered by a Japanese mobile carrier. It was a brand new and very expensive phone at the time. Technically, the device could work on North American networks, but I kept a Japanese phone number and required an international roaming plan. Then I carefully selected a plan where both incoming and outgoing calls would trigger expensive international charges. Every single call would involve roaming fees, long distance costs, and extra service charges. After doing the math, I estimated that calling me would cost the company over $5 per minute. 0 hours, 2 minutes, 28 seconds. A couple of days later, I returned to HR and my manager with all the details. I showed them the exact phone and the service plan I had chosen. From their reactions, it was obvious they weren't sure if I was serious. Finally, the HR representative asked why I had selected such an expensive option. I answered honestly. I explained that it felt unfair for the company to expect me to be available at any hour of the day, potentially interrupting my personal life without offering even a small amount of additional compensation. If so,